I don't feel like people should be given a job because of their gender. I personally would find that quite upsetting if I did get the job just because I'm female.
Which personal qualities are needed as an undercover agent?
So to be a successful undercover operative, I would say that confidence is half the battle. You need to be confident in why you're there, what you're doing, who you are. If you're confident, the adversary or the person that you're trying to maybe infiltrate or get information out of will never second guess you. If your story is solid and you're confident with what you've got, you'll be fine. It's all about being able to think very quickly on your feet and being confident. And that is literally half the battle.
Using your experience in the police, what advice do you have for women in a male-dominated industry?
So when I joined the police many moons ago, I actually joined off the back of a female-driven recruitment drive, which annoys me somewhat because I like to think people are given jobs due to merit, not because of their gender. I can say that whilst I was serving in the police, I definitely was not in any way discriminated against because I was female. I don't think later in my career I was given the job because I was female. I think I was given the job because I was good enough. And I think that's really important. My advice would be to anyone thinking about a career in the police is to give it a go. Go and do it. And don't be scared that you think it might be now still heavily dominated as a male industry, because I don't think that's the case. I think the statistics show that it's actually almost half and half. So just give it a go. Don't let gender put you off.
How can businesses achieve better gender inclusion, particularly in industries where women are a minority?
I feel like industries, particularly corporates, could do better with inclusion, but again, by talking to people about merit, not based on gender. I don't feel like people should be given a job because of their gender. I personally would find that quite upsetting if I did get the job just because I'm female. I would rather be given the job because I'm good enough for the job. I've passed all the interview processes and I was the best candidate. I would feel much better about that than my senior management saying, well, we've hired a female. I would rather be given my job on merit than because of my gender. And I think that there are enough women out there that are able to do the job just as well, or if not better than men, across many, many industries.
In your opinion, what style of cyber attack is most common in business?
I don't think it will surprise you to hear that the most common cyber attack, even today, is generally the good old phishing attack. They're not going away. Cyber isn't going away. We all live our lives online. And we are seeing some very, very sophisticated phishing expeditions. I think people do talk about it more now, which is half the battle, I think. The more we talk about it, the more it's in the forefront of our mind. But you'll be surprised to hear that a lot of hackers or bad guys aren't going up against companies' IT infrastructure. What they're doing is actually using the lane of least resistance, which is usually the human. So they will be going on to things like LinkedIn, for example, and finding out who works there and who looks like they would fall for my trick of asking them to get me into the company. Not necessarily as blasé as that, and that's up front of getting me into the company, but who can I trick? Who can I manipulate? And that's how they're doing it. They're literally using the human element. And I think it's not going away. This is something that's going to only get more and more sophisticated. Some of the things that we're seeing at the moment, even we're surprised at the lengths that these people are going to.
How can businesses identify the strengths and weaknesses in their cyber defenses?
I think that many companies have a standard operating procedure for cyber. Now, I know in the US they have it. They have to have regular trainings and stuff like that. And I believe it happens in the UK as well. But that is actually it. It's just talking about it. The more we talk about something, the more we think and the more we look and the more we give it a bit of consideration. If you've got a company that just don't talk about cyber or the potential hacks or what's happening in the current news with hacking and the threats, people just forget, because if you're not talking about it constantly and it's not in the forefront of your mind, people forget. And we're humans, we're busy, we've got other things going on. I do think people are getting better because we talk about it, because it's in the press more. But trainings, current trends, ask a cyber professional what are you seeing at the moment? What's forecast for cyber? What do you think? You're the professional. What do you think? And I'm sure, knowing myself, I like to talk. I will chew your ear off all day about cyber and what we think is going to happen and what we've been seeing. So just feel free to reach out. It's a passion. So cyber crime is not going away.
What do you hope audiences take away from your public speeches?
It's really interesting. It depends on what topic I'm speaking about when I'm giving a speech, because I speak about lots of different things. But the last probably 5 to 6 speeches have been about my career, and people want to know what did I do? What I know you was an undercover agent or an undercover asset, but what does that mean? What did you do? So they want to hear the stories that or things I've gone through in my career. I was literally leading a double life. I had multiple personalities, and then a real life. And at the end of most of them, I've had women, particularly women, come over and say, wow, like that's really inspirational. And for me, that means quite a lot. Like I don't tell anyone to impress them. So when they say it's an inspiration, I take that away and I feel really happy after. So I guess I would like people to think that you can do anything you want to do. You just have to go out and do it. It's not everything's a pipe dream, just do it. So when someone says you're inspirational, for me, that's probably the biggest takeaway and the biggest compliment.